Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for testifying. I think part of the concern regarding the organized retail crime situation is the lack of, I would say, adequate information and data. Would you agree that we should have a better system of determining how much of this is going on? I realize that you're here because it is a serious concern, but I do think that since a lot of this data is not reported to the National Incident Bank based reporting, for example, that that is an area that could be improved. Wouldn't you agree? Any of you?
I'd just like to comment that I agree. And one of the things that's been so interesting as we prepared for this testimony, our own statistics. I agree with you that the stats that are being reported are maybe a fraction of really the actual theft that's going on. Motor carriers are the eyes and ears of our supply chain. We see everything. We're the first ones to see if that seal's broken, right? And we're the first ones, because we are held, as soon as we outgate, responsible for that load. And so when we looked at our own statistics for the past 4 years, it's staggering. And that's why I made the comment about in 2021, we had 5 reports of cargo theft, 5. And by 2024, we had 876 reports. It's huge.
I think that to the extent that it is increasing, it would be also helpful that we should have all of our large cities in particular reporting in on the incidents of these kinds of crimes to the National Incidents-Based Reporting System that we put together. Now, all of you testified that it's going to require the enforcement of whatever legislation that we enact will require a collaborative enforcement involving federal, state, local, and the private sector all working together, and that is one of the things that you hope will be created under this law that we are contemplating. Is that a critical part of any kind of a law enforcement effort to get at this crime? And I would ask Ms. Stefan.
Yes, exactly. I think being able to put together, we did that on a state level, and it enhanced our ability, and this is why we've been able to get to 218 organized criminal actors. But we know that it goes well beyond that. So being able to organize a similar thing on a national level, because I can cite you multiple cases, Senator, where this same group that we were able to hold accountable in San Diego went to Chicago, Illinois, did damage, went to the state of Washington, did damage, and we finally caught them. We're unable to prosecute them for those out of state crimes, but we were able to join our California crimes together. But we didn't have any kind of alert or information, data sharing about what to look for, what is the profile, what's coming our way in this big jewelry heist that I mentioned. I hope I was, maybe there's another question.
And with regard to the data sharing and all that this is something that Homeland Security would supply. Is that your expectation under this bill, that would require Homeland Security to be the depository or repository of a lot of the enforcement activity under the contemplated bill?
I expect a federal agency to do it because of my experience with federal agencies. For example, in the area of elder scams, we were simply guessing until the FBI took on the leadership of our Elder Justice Task Force. We were able to then connect the dots and find out that my seniors were losing $98 million a year.
Excuse me, I am running out of time. So to the extent that there's going to be a much bigger federal involvement in enforcement, there is a concern about what is happening at Homeland Security as well as the Department of Justice, and the diversion of resources and bodies to other than prosecuting and going after these kinds of crimes. And literally dozens of of experienced people who are normally focused on these kinds of crimes are no longer there. So we can pass whatever laws we want, but unless there is that commitment to enforcement at the federal level, we're going to continue to run into resource problems. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Blackburn.